Do you remember our first year? The offers that we got for expanding SNU.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
And we're looking at different
Yeah.
places.
So many.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. 100%.
And what did we do? We declined all of
Yeah.
them,
All of them.
right?
Yeah.
Why? Because we weren't ready.
No. Not at all.
We weren't ready.
Not at
We were
all.
excited about it. Then we had that
Yeah.
honest conversation. Like, yo,
We're not ready.
can we
bro.
scale this?
Yeah.
Can we afford to go to a different location in this location, which we were
Would
doing
be
nothing.
run. Yeah.
Like revenue wise, we weren't doing
Yeah.
anything. How many times we got approached that, yo, I want to invest in this business. I want to expand this business. I believe in it. You guys are doing amazing things. And we were so disciplined to be like, and real with ourselves to be like, it's a danger, first of all, to our team who actually believe in this for us to expand that fast. Because we're not ready. None of us are ready for this, right? Until we have a team that's self-sufficient, who understands the culture and how to execute on every single part of this business, we cannot expand it.
So what you're good at, like, stay there. The next person, that's what you're good at. Stay there. Cover there. If you're good at blocking, block me, and I will throw all day. Now you just gotta catch that ball when that ball gets there.
That's it, right? We had to make sure our team, like our center, was on point. We found the best fucking guards, best forwards, best supporting cast, six man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Watch
Your
my
deep
back
bench,
so
we
that
have a
I don't
deep
get, messed up in my.
But everybody just like, okay, cool. Put your hand up who wants to be on the team. Cool. We're gonna ride. We're gonna go play now. Nah, man. If you want to win championships, you gotta.
No, it
there
doesn't.
has to
You
be a
gotta break
system,
down.
right?
There's a system. With this day and age of social media, success seems to be everywhere around you. Everybody's successful. What the hell does that really mean? Today, we're going to talk about the importance of staying in your own lane and running at your own pace in life. Welcome to Behind the Strength.
I'm Carlo Bellagase.
And I'm Christian Alvarez. This is where we help you with your health, wealth, and peace of mind.
Welcome back to people who have been listening and following us for a while. Thank you. We've been seeing that. Anybody who's new, what can they expect, Christian, from this podcast?
Well, if you are looking to improve yourself, any area in your life, whether it be your fitness, your health, financial status, your, actual working or your business relations or your actual personal relationships, you can look to get some help from us here in this podcast. You can look for us to help you improve those areas of your life.
And why those areas in your life? Because they essentially come down to really the same principles.
They come together.
If you have the same principles, guiding principles with you, you could really tackle any relationship, any financial issues, any physical issues that you may have. So that's why we kind of bring it down in essence with the top 3 things that people really look for guidance in our lives.
Wait, why should they listen to us anyway?
Because we've been through this shit, dog.
Who are we?
We're 2 younger. Well, we're not that young anymore.
No.
We're like 30-something.
Yeah,
early 30s. We could say early 30s still. We started this business when we were 25, 26 years old in 2010, but then we opened in 2011 with really no money that we kind of put together in a warehouse that was given to us 1,600 to 1,800 square feet. With no equipment, borrowed equipment, and slowly built our business up to a fitness and therapy business that now holds 11,200 square feet, thousands of clients, about 40+ team members,
and we have a new location coming up.
Millions in dollars in revenue, and we have a new location coming up in Mississauga, Dixie and Angleton. So anybody in the Mississauga area, we're going to be opening soon.
And where can they find us actually on social media?
You can hit us up on Instagram. That's the best. Everybody hits us up there. So if Instagram or Facebook, hit us up at STRENGTH, the letter N, the letter U. Shoot us a DM. Give us some feedback. Let us know what topics you want us to cover. We're available, man.
So this feeds right into what we're talking about today. With everything that's posted on social media, everybody just captures the positive things in life. Their wins, I won my moment, I won my day. I'm making money, I'm successful. That a lot of people get caught up in that. And I think that this when we had started to talk about this, it became very, very important for us to speak about why people should stay at their own pace and not try to be like, oh, I'm 21, I'm not a multimillionaire, I'm not in the league yet. I've been doing tryouts for all these years. I'm not. There's a lot of things these days, right? People, especially from like what you got people that are 19, 20 years old making millions of dollars or billions of dollars. And then you have people who are actually just like acting like they are, right? Like they're not actually, but they,
Because of the beauty of the internet,
Mm-hmm.
the business world, there's more available clientele without any restrictions.
Yeah.
If you're great at marketing, if you're great at creating products that people would want to buy,
Yes.
it's easier to reach a lot of people
Yes.
if you actually study how to do it,
Yes.
and if you have a viable product. Now, the problem with that is, I've seen a lot of it, is that a lot of people who haven't actually really created real businesses, they're teaching people how to run a business. They're
Yes.
teaching all this shit and they haven't really mastered it. They've mastered the marketing aspect. So they're
Yep.
glorified marketers to me. That's
Yes.
what I think. There's a subset group of people who actually have built real businesses, who have capital, who have, controllers under them. They understand financial reports, all that stuff. So big up to people who really understand that. And who are we to say, like, is a YouTuber not a business person? I don't know. They make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, but I totally understand where everyone's coming from, because okay, this guy's just speaking on camera and he's making millions of dollars because he's
doing. I'm not there.
He's talking all this shit and people love it. And,
Yeah.
And there's sponsorships. There's products that they're creating that people purchase.
And it's just they're
young.
and they're
And
just
they're
and they're
young.
posting shit like, hey man, like I'm successful. I'm doing shit in my life.
Yeah, but what they don't realize is that you're just seeing the glory happening there, but you don't even realize the anxiety, the bullshit that they have to go through in the back end, the horrible things people say about them who
And
don't
to
like
them, and to them, yeah.
to them who rip them down. So it takes a different type of human being to actually be successful in
to be
business.
there.
These days,
Yeah, for sure.
Back in the day, imagine
You can
somebody-
hide behind it all.
Bro, imagine the bullshit businesses that were running that nobody really liked, but they're still successful.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Telemarketing.
Who are you gonna tell?
Telemarketing, yeah.
If
It's like,
somebody-
who am I gonna call?
If you had a shitty service, if whatever, a mom and pop, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Who could you really tell? You could
Right.
really tell your boys or
Yeah.
your family, don't go there because they suck.
Yeah.
But
You're not
that's
affecting
a blip.
very minute.
in-
Yeah.
It's a minute thing. How great it is to market to everybody because that platform is open. It's so much harder to even keep people these days because people will talk shit about your business faster than they'll actually say good things about it. But the real problem is, yes, you're right. People, once they start seeing, I think it's the people who are executing these businesses or whatever, say online business. People have these like, oh, like I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're a dime a
But no,
dozen.
but you're a glorified salesperson. I'm sorry, like if you don't control your inventory, if you have no say about labeling, you have no say about the branding, you're a salesperson. You're selling that product.
You're selling a product.
Right?
yeah.
I'm
Which is
talking about
yourself,
those
yeah.
multi-level. Like I'm sorry, like hustle. I would use multi-level marketing if I was just a regular employee as tax leverage, all that stuff, because you could leverage that as tax for benefits and stuff like that. And if you're a great salesperson, fine.
Yes.
But yeah, that's where the real problem is lying, because even if I have nothing going on, I want to feel like I have everything going on.
Well, that's the thing. So, the reason why this even came up with us is because there's a lot of people that come in here, feeling all down on themselves, or you could just see it in their life in general because they're comparing to other people. Or we see, anybody that's starting to come up in something, right? Most oftentimes by the time you see success, so like a very successful athlete or a business, you don't see the 10 years worth of work they put in the dark, in a closed room when nobody else was in there, right? They don't see, just like that documentary we were watching about with Bill Gates.
Yes.
Nobody saw the fact that this guy would go 3-4 days without sleep and coding in a room. He didn't start off as Bill Gates, the greatest Microsoft genius of all time, the greatest genius of all time, right? Yeah. He literally would just code, and whatever's in his head, he just lay it out, right?
But he would commit to stupid problems because that's who he was.
Yeah.
Right, like that in that episode where he had to find out an algorithm so the students' schedules coincided without any problem.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's a stupid issue. Like, you don't need to deal with that stuff. But he
took it on because it's a challenge.
He took it on, and he succeeded.
Yeah.
And then guess what? That insignificant thing caught on. The word spread that these young geniuses are freaking amazing, and every other company started hiring them to do their thing.
Yes.
And they eventually started doing big things.
Yes.
But would it be a glorious thing if they had Instagram back then? I'm like, oh, we're coding schedules. Like nobody would give a shit
Well,
about
here's a
that.
personal story. You said it earlier today. We started this business in 2010, actually opened 2011.
Yeah.
What happened between the time we decided to open and the actual opening day? Nobody sees that. Nobody saw it.
No, but nobody saw
like,
this because Instagram wasn't around.
No, yes.
Like,
but
you know
what
what I
we
mean?
actually had to physically do to get that place open back in 2011 and to grow it every year thereafter,
Yeah.
we actually had to physically, manually do labor. And
Well,
we
and mental labor
and mental
too.
labor too.
'Cause we
Yeah,
had to
for sure,
develop a
100%.
website.
Yeah.
We had to
The
put together
systems, the
PO
processes,
system,
yeah.
putting together the
staff.
fucking internet.
Yes.
Putting together the the documentation, our letterheads. Like we had to
100%, yeah.
design everything from scratch, dog.
And
like,
we didn't start out here. It wasn't
No.
like that where we woke up, opened up this gym that was already built for us, and it was kind of like, it was literally, we started from scratch.
I don't think people realize we got spare cubicle panels and put it
As a
put it
change room.
as a change room. It was no bigger than 10 by 10,
And
and
it was-
male and females changed in that one change room.
Yeah, it was like communal.
That was sick.
Yeah, it was communal.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
I have no clue how we
it was
fucking pulled
communal,
that
and
off.
we had 2 washrooms, 2 separate, like just single washrooms. That's it.
It was a single washroom.
Yeah, just
it was
single
one. It
washrooms.
was one washroom. Oh, it was
no,
two
no, two-
washrooms.
no,
It
two-
was.
there's
Yeah,
two
you're
washrooms,
right.
yeah.
There was 2 washrooms.
One that is right in the change room,
In the
middle
change
of
room, yeah, in the middle
everybody,
of
which is like, oh man, like they can just hear your business
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's crazy. But
But it was actually pretty cool because remember, like when the guys would try to come in and the women were changing, like, oh, you guys changed.
Yes,
first.
yes,
It was very
yes.
respectful.
Very respectful,
which is
yeah.
pretty cool.
Very
'cause it was a small
community.
community. Yeah, it was a small
Very,
community.
very small
of maybe
community.
20 people, not even like
If
10
that,
people.
10 people.
that are regulars.
Yeah.
And then it started getting a bit bigger, and we're like, shit, we gotta change this.
That's
'cause-
insane, man. Yeah.
Remember that shit?
I do. It's just so like ingrained in my. I actually can vision right now and going through the process of introducing myself to new people as they
Everybody.
walked in, making the cold calls, everything.
Remember one of the biggest purchases that we made was the blinds. Remember
blinds,
that?
the blinds
was
is expensive
It was
as
like what,
heck, man.
$300, not even.
No, it was more. The blinds were
Was
more, a
it?
little more. I think it was like 6 something. Even
Okay.
the sign was like 6 bills, or it was like 8 bills, and we're like, oh man, we had budgeted.
sign was 8 bills,
Yeah,
eh?
that stupid little thing is 8 bills.
Yeah, see?
But I mean, it's what it's structured. Hey, it still stands today.
Yeah, it's still right there.
It's still there.
above the thing, the exit of the PT studio.
Yeah, well, our main point here is this, like, you know, when you're trying to work at something, if you're an athlete that's trying to make it to the big leagues, if you're, you know, a person that's just opened up shop, you got to go through the paces. That's what actually, those experiences are what actually allow you to become successful. Because hopefully you learn from those mistakes, and you learn from every time you're faced with a problem, and you come up with a solution. Eventually the problems are not going to be just, stress and whatever in your life. It's kind of like, all right, well, this is what happens. You're a person. Every person is built to solve problems. We are, right? That all of life is a fucking problem.
Yeah, but now
Every
stepping
little thing.
into that role is a
But
different
stepping
story.
into that role is a different story.
Yeah,
so
some
if you're
just
looking,
avoid that shit.
yeah, if you're looking at people and you're being like, man, I should be more successful based on this, based on that, you know, you don't see the work that they put in behind all that.
So, do you remember, and going back to the point of going at your own pace, do you
Mm-hmm.
remember our first year, the offers that we got for expanding SNU?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
And we're looking at different
Yeah,
places.
so many.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, 100%.
And what did we do? We declined all of
Yeah,
them,
all of them.
right?
Yeah.
Why? Because we weren't ready.
No, not at all.
We weren't ready. We
Not at
we were
all.
excited about it. Then we had that
Yeah.
honest conversation. Like, yo,
We're not ready.
can we
bro.
scale this?
Yeah.
Can we afford to go to a different location in this location, which we were fucking
Would
doing
be
nothing.
run, yeah.
Like revenue wise, we weren't doing
Yeah.
anything. What would we be able to sustain it for a long time? Yeah, we'll feel good about ourselves. Our ego would be stroked, and we feel great.
Yeah,
Look,
until the first location shuts
yo,
down.
and it was downtown. It was Distillery
Yeah,
District.
Distillery District. Yeah,
It was
With
Distillery.
Jason
Yeah, all those guys, man.
Russell,
Yeah,
yeah.
back
Yep.
then, they were ready for it.
even Scott. Remember?
Another,
Yeah, Brooklyn.
dude.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody realizes how many people,
Times.
how many times we got approached that, yo, I want to invest in this business. I want to expand this business. I believe in it. You guys are doing amazing things, and we were so disciplined to be like, and real with ourselves to be like, it's a danger, first of all, to our team who actually believe in this, for us to expand that fast, because we're not ready. None of us are ready for this shit. right? Until we have a team that's self-sufficient, who understands the culture and how to execute on every single part of this business, we cannot expand it.
And the best thing at those points in time, there's a lot of people around us, obviously pumping your tires, saying, "Yeah, expand. It's time to expand."
Everybody's gonna say that.
Third
shit.
location. Everybody, without knowing the intricacies of business, of system and process and training and development and
because they don't understand a balance sheet. They don't understand, cash flow,
margins. All
margins.
that
They don't
stuff,
understand that shit.
No, they
You
don't.
know what I mean?
And it's to them, it's just like, "Oh, you should come." You should come to Fort McMurray. You do very well here.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's so busy. It's so busy. They're gonna be. Oh, they'd love your shit there. What happened to Fort McMurray? The oil dried up really fast out of Fort, and everybody left. Now it's like a crack town. Imagine if we did that move.
See,
That's crazy.
So, it's. And how many dude? So many people I've seen who started businesses expanded so fast. They have 2, 3, like tons of locations, and I look at them like, damn. Like I know if you feel good right now, but you're fucked.
And the thing is, too, you're not maximizing each one.
No, but you don't understand. You haven't been slapped in the face long enough.
Yeah, for sure.
Because your clients are your biggest mentors, right?
Yes.
They're the ones who are going to give you the feedback on how to run your business
Run your
more properly.
business.
So I was talking to Byron this morning, and because he started his business and stuff like that, and I go, bro, you know what a business is like? A business itself is like coming up with a hit track, a hit song. You're gonna start off with noise, but
of course,
you might start off with a great bass line, drum line.
Yeah.
But then you have to layer it with some good shit. But then you have to layer it with a good hook,
Yes.
right? And good verses that make it make sense throughout the whole song. And that's what a business is. You might start with one thing, but everything you add, the layers you add onto it, has to be cohesive to everything else. And that takes time, it takes patience, it takes discipline, and it takes real artistry to make sure you see things for the bigger picture and make sure it runs well before you open another location. It's like the McDonald's concept, right?
Yeah.
You have to get that one foundation running like clockwork before you expand. It just makes sense. You don't copy a shitty product.
You want to know what's funny? When I was in the Caribbean recently, I was with Ivan Berry, who's a good friend and mentor of ours, and he said in his meeting to remember I was saying that he's like, these guys are like a mentor of mine.
That's big.
He goes, and when we were in the car driving around, he was speaking. He was actually teaching me how music is made, the layers. So now that you're saying that, and then we started relating it to business and how he's like, so you guys kind of broke that down in business. We had the exact same conversation. It's not even funny.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Because he was teaching me the music part, and then he was trying to pick my brain about business, and I go, well, yeah, man, there's different moving parts and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
everything in this universe is the same. Music, mathematics, art.
Yeah, there's an
right?
algorithm behind
you don't understand why, but that painting just looks beautiful.
Yes.
But
there's little things that came in. Yes.
There's a set of rules. There's texture. There's depth. There's color.
Yes.
There's symmetry.
Yes.
But all those rules, if you follow these basic rules that are comprised in everybody's brain and everybody's visual, capacity, then everyone will agree that's beautiful,
100%,
right?
yep.
But it's the same thing as business. It's the same thing with anything that you do. There's an agreed upon process of procedure and how things should work within a given business. You just have to find it.
Yes.
And before you could expand, and luckily we were self-aware enough to understand that back in the day, or the young, especially because we were young. We remember we were first like, we're fucking expanding everywhere, blah blah. We got this is it.
Yeah, 100%.
And then that thing that was in the back of my mind, I'm like, no, that's the scariest thing in the world. So we stopped, and it was only now that we, like, how many years later? 8 years, 9 years later is when we're like, okay, now it's time to expand, because the team is good. We got our marketing. Marketing's good.
Our process.
Our processes are on point.
The sales system. The referral system.
Training.
The development part is massive.
Our administrative is on point. Now we everybody understands and could agree on how the best practices and how to do things.
And you know what that is? It goes back. It's running in your own lane.
But that's it.
That's what it is. That's it. Stay
we
in
can
your
say
own
this
pace.
shit because
stay in your lane.
We did
so
it.
what you're good at, like, stay there. The next person, that's what you're good at. Stay there. Cover there. If you're good at blocking, block me, and I will throw all day. Now you just gotta catch that ball when that ball gets there.
That's it, right? We had to make sure our team, like our center, was on point. We found the best fucking guards, best forwards, best supporting cast, 6 man. You know what I mean?
Watch my back so that I don't get messed up in my.
But everybody just like, okay, cool. Put your hand up who wants to be on the team. Cool. We're gonna ride. We're gonna go play now. Nah, man. If you want to win championships, you gotta.
No, it
there
doesn't.
has to
You
be a
gotta break
system,
down. There's a
right?
system.
What did we say? Like, what was it? It was San Antonio had a system.
San Antonio, from even Phil Jackson's system.
System.
Pat Riley had a system, right?
System, and everybody
what-
agrees
yeah.
on that. There's no. Everybody is part of that system. There's no one person.
And the thing is, you have to get the buy-in from every person
Everybody.
there.
Everybody.
Because if there's one that goes off the course and does not stay in their lane, that one little change in the algorithm is enough to fuck the whole thing up. So, in talking about staying the course and run at your own pace, you have to know what parts are essential to your success. Like, what do you need? Like, have you even sat down and looked at that, right? Before you start comparing yourself to others. Because the best way for you to succeed is to find what you're currently missing to add to the layers and the depth of what you're trying to succeed in.
The funny thing is when people look big or pose that there's a certain way or they're living a certain lifestyle. For example, like, I don't understand how all these people are traveling so often in such a high capacity.
It's a lot of money, man.
When I know where they work, like I know what
like
kind
what
of
their
income they should.
occupation, yeah.
So it's a weird thing. So when you're hiding behind, what I don't understand is like, okay, first of all, if you're making that type of income, you're somebody supplementing this shit.
Yes.
And for somebody to get quote unquote sponsored like this lifestyle, and for you to put it out there like you're the one doing it, it's all bullshit, man. It's like I don't know how people could be like, I mean, it's so unauthentic that it's really disturbing to me, because when you get older, when you 5 years down the road, when that shit is going to cut off, guess what's going to happen? You actually, your brain is telling you're making yourself feel like you're successful, but when that shit gets swept under the rug and you're fucked, guess how more depressed you're going to be. So this is what people have to understand. Like, for the time being, these people who are living that life, who are fucking popping bottles, who are doing all this shit, it's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable.
A lot of them, some of them, it's sustainable. Some of them, they're actually,
they've already made it. They've already made it.
And, like, there's no hate on that. Like, do your thing. If you're sustainable and you have a plan and you're using that as leverage to kind of build wealth for something else, whatever, all power to you. But there's a lot of people watching that now and trying to try to game the system, trying to put themselves in a position where they want other people to make them perceive them that way. With a shaky foundation, 5 years later, I guarantee you, they're not posting any pictures, bro. They're not.
100%.
They're hiding. It's
They're
unsustainable, man.
At that point
it's
in time.
unsustainable.
I've actually seen a lot of people from, back in when I was a kid, within the community, like with my parents and stuff like that, and their friends who were like, oh, they were living in Forest Hill, they were driving like fancy car, new lease every 2-3 years. And a few of them literally had to go and hide out, sell their house, and it's gone because they just couldn't keep up with the Joneses, right? And that's exactly what modern day social media will get you buying into, is modern day keeping up with the Joneses. But it's not sustainable, and it's gonna cause some real fucking issues for you later on when things go crashing.
So let me tell you a quick story. Actually, I won't say the person's name, but one of our friends that you know personally. He came by. He hasn't been here in a while, so he came by, and I checked him at the front. It's like, yo, it's been a while, blah blah. How's everything? And we chatted for a bit, just your typical chat, and then we started going a bit deeper, and because he wanted to be successful, he wanted to try different things, and then I guess things fell kind of short, and now he's working a regular job.
Right.
And I was like, yo, don't worry about it, man. Let's keep going. And he mentioned that, hey man, it was tough because I was watching how you guys are growing and how well you guys are doing, and it kind of got me down. And I'm like, bro, first of all, don't ever let other people's shit get you down.
100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and second of all, you would fucking shoot yourself if you went through the shit we went through.
Yeah, if that got you down, if that thought of that got you down,
if that got you down,
yeah,
you like, because look, you're seeing it from an angle that you know what I mean, like from the surface
from
level
your
shit.
lens, yeah.
But and we never really post about
No.
our lives. I don't really
No,
post,
I
like,
don't
you know what
post
I mean?
at all.
I
Yeah.
don't really do that as I haven't posted in the last 3
Like
months.
personal stuff.
Personal
yeah, no.
shit. Or like, oh, you know, oh, look how fucking
Like how great this
successful
is.
we
Yeah,
are.
no, no.
We don't do that. I don't really
No,
care for
I
that
don't think
shit.
we have time for
I'm,
that.
I'm still in like old school way, man. Like, you know, just prove your shit
Yeah.
and don't talk about it.
Let your work speak for itself.
And I don't think I don't want to change that.
Yeah.
But and I told him like, yo, look at all the things you've done. Right? You went to all these places with your family. You've done all these things, homie. I haven't fucking hung with my family on Christmas for fucking 8 years. Homie, I haven't been on vacation with a bunch of my family in 8 years. I drive a 4-door fucking purple Civic 2000 that's rusting.
Yeah.
For $1,500. There's nothing to fucking envy
Boast
here.
about.
There's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
to
yeah,
envy
yeah,
here, dog.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I envy you. Like, you're happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are focusing on the things that make you happy.
Yes.
Don't just be. We're working on things that are making us happy.
Yes. Yes.
And you should never envy another person's
No.
fucking happiness that way, or how they're working towards their happiness.
Well, yeah, because to us, we're just happy doing what we do every day.
I love what we do. I
Or
told
just-
people, like, dude, love waking up in the morning. I'm like, cool, let's do this
I
again.
enjoy going in here, my ritual of morning workout immediately because it gets my brain going, figures out my day, and then people start filtering in. Hey, how you doing?
It's
and
fucking
through the day,
sick.
it just gets louder and
And
louder
louder,
and more foul in language and just absolute insanity by midday.
And everybody's working towards a common goal.
Yep.
We're talking shit and having fun at the
Yeah.
same time, but we're executing.
And
Everybody's
the best part
doing
is
well.
that happens in every corner of this facility.
Exactly.
So, like, let's just say we're having our own laughs and whatever back here, doing our own work. They're getting shit done over in the gym floor. They're getting stuff done over in therapy.
Yeah.
At the front desk, they got their own little jokes going.
Yeah.
It's just the culture of it. We
culture's
enjoy
amazing.
being here. We like being around each other, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? And we like who we work with. But that's how we. The only way we did that is because, again, we just stayed at our own pace.
We did our own.
Because we could have immediately, got a second, got a third, got a fourth.
Oh, man.
Build no culture, no system, no process, and believe me, you wouldn't be hearing from us today.
And it breaks my heart when I see that often. You're not on social media. I see it often, man. I see these people with one fucking business and they're popping bottles and fucking wearing chains and leasing out all these vehicles. I'm like, yo, you don't understand cash flow, eh? You don't understand what equity is.
Yeah, equity, yeah.
You don't understand net worth. You don't understand all
you don't look
that.
at your balance sheet,
You,
do
you don't
you
because
really don't.
because all the things that you purchase, if you take that away, you put down for a thing and for another location, ask for an SBL, you could make triple the amount of money you're making right now.
I got to tell you this story, actually. I was driving on the lakeshore in Mississauga by my end there the other day, see this bus, and I see this gym name. So immediately, I grab it and I go, yo, Google that shit. Immediately. Who is that?
Yeah.
It's a studio. It's like obstacle course racing and
Yes,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yep.
That's what they do. They do like obstacle course training and all that stuff. But they put their money. So they opened up. They put their money, their marketing money into bus ads. Those aren't cheap.
No, those are
And it's so not effective if you only have one measly location.
Yes.
That is the dumbest thing. And then she's like, well, you think they're doing well because they put themselves on a bus ad? And I said, no, they don't understand ROI. They don't understand return on investment. Because for the one person they may just get on that bus ad, they could have had, 50 to 100 more traction had they done this. Like another platform, I'm not going to say what platforms, on a separate platform and looked at the return on investment.
Yeah, because when you put something on a bus ad, you're targeting the masses, not your real customers.
They think it's like, hey, I'm out there now.
Especially in niche, like
that is a niche. Yeah, it's crazy.
Really,
that's
really
like
niche.
You really don't understand business to do that.
Hey,
you really don't, and you don't understand your financials or ROI or.
But the thing that's an example of somebody putting it in their ear, like old school
Exactly.
people putting it in their or old things.
And we heard all that.
And we heard all that. We've done that. We made those mistakes.
Yeah, we have.
And,
we have.
Like, hopefully they'll turn that around because it's it's making the dollar, allowing a dollar to create three.
Yes.
Or when you're first starting off, make that dollar, make $1.50.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Make it $1.50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just make it $1.10.
Yeah.
The extra 10 cents will build it up, add another $1.
Yeah.
So those $2 now we're gonna make $4.20. You know what I mean? That's how business works. You have to be patient have to be patient. You know, you have to let concrete
Yeah,
cure for 28
You can't
days.
sign a new lease the moment you friggin' register a business.
Yeah,
You can't,
and it's with
sign a
anything.
lease on a vehicle, or that's just stupid. You make your first paycheck and
And it could go back to fitness. If you're just starting off and you see somebody deadlifting 450 pounds,
they didn't get the
you have no
overnight.
clue.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you used to fucking deadlift like crazy. You used to squat like 6 plates, right?
Yeah, 605.
605.
605 for 8.
Yeah. Imagine we had Instagram back then.
I had a 605 deadlift for 4.
Right? You
I
get
had
what
a
I mean?
405 bench press for like 8.
Yeah. And all these people are
And nobody.
And no belt. No belt.
They had
No belt.
We had a video of my squat. I think it was a 6-plate squat, and it was my 3rd exercise that day. I never once posted that. I don't even know where that video is.
No,
anymore.
dude.
I don't
Remember back
really
in the day?
care. And why am I gonna boast about something that happened when I was like fucking 22?
It's fine.
Who gives a shit?
It's fine.
Nobody cares.
It's fine. I mean, but that's my point. People will watch things like that and I'm like, oh my god, you know, like, is it happening yet? How many times have you sat in a consult with somebody who hasn't really trained before and they're like, oh, it's gonna take 2 years, a year and a half?
Yeah.
Wait. What?
It's like,
I need 6 months. I need 3 months. Well,
Yeah.
how do we get there?
Yeah.
I remember Massey
All
did a
the time.
consult like that
All
the
the
other day.
time.
And it's like, do you not realize how long it actually takes? Your muscles aren't even, the foundation of your muscles firing and the muscle fibers itself haven't even been worked.
Yeah.
You need you need priming
Yeah.
before you even start work.
Yes.
And that's going to take months and months and months and months, depending on your skill level, right? The way you eat,
Yes.
your rest.
Yeah, 100%.
But these days, everybody's just getting in the gym, taking a picture, and then you see them fall the fuck off. It's like it's not about that. It's not about taking a picture in the gym and saying, "Oh, yeah, I'm here," because you're there to actually get something done.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
like,
Like,
don't
I'm here
feel like
for
you're
work. Yeah.
don't feel like you're being left behind because you can't take sexy pictures in front of
Yeah, that's not
a
the point of
camera.
going into the gym.
You know what I
The point
mean?
of going to the gym is to work on your body, work on your mind,
Yeah, and go at your own pace.
Move your body, yeah.
Yo,
Exercise.
take the 1 year. Put it in your mind that I'm going to commit this for a year because it's your new religion, if you want to call it
is.
religion.
It is.
You don't go to church and be like, fuck, okay, so I'm going to do 6 months of church. Right? You don't do that.
No.
You don't go,
No.
okay, how long is it going to take for me to feel spiritual?
No.
That's you.
Yeah, it's just who you are.
I am spiritual.
It's an identity thing.
I'm gonna go to church Sundays, and that's my thing. That is who I am. That is what I am now. Right? I believe in God. I might even go fucking Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Because I love it so much.
Yes.
I'm not counting down the days I feel spiritual. And
Yes.
even if you
It
do
has
get
to.
spiritual,
There's a
it doesn't
higher
stop. You
there's a
don't
higher level to
stop.
that. That's a
You
higher
don't.
level.
You don't stop. There's a higher level now.
Well, that's
of
why they
spirituality
always
and
say, like,
understanding.
it's like, again, we always say it. The black belt is where it starts.
That black belt is absolutely where.
10
it starts.
years, that's what they call it, the average black belt, is when it starts.
Yes, because now you're certified. Okay, you are a warrior in this space.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now what?
Now what? Yeah.
Right?
Like,
Now
yes.
you've reached all the tools. We've check marked all these things at the levels that you've passed. Now you're able to really fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So test your skills now.
Yes.
Because at
And there's
that
goals
level,
beyond.
there's going to be another shit. There's other stuff that you have to take care of.
A higher IQ.
Higher IQ, everything. So the
Bigger
same thing.
problems.
Like in fitness specifically, in finance specifically, lay out the foundation that you need to kind of hit.
Yes.
And then you get to play harder.
Yes.
Then you get to explore your body to the next level.
Yes.
Then you're able to see, okay, you know what? Let me see if I can deadlift 350 pounds and run 10K.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you could play.
Yes.
Right?
But before that,
now let me see
before
if
that,
I can
learn
do
your body
handstands
first. Yes.
Right? Let me see if I can
Yeah.
do handstands.
But before all that, you got to learn your body
But you have to learn your
first.
body, and it doesn't do you any service for you to look at all these people doing all these great things and feeling bad about it. You should actually feel inspired. When I see things, when I
Yes.
see entrepreneurs who are actually doing well, or anybody in fitness, I'm like, yo, that's amazing. How did they get there?
I was gonna say the biggest
Right?
difference in mindset that we actually, there's one takeaway from today, it's when you see people who are successful in their space, who are dominating their space, instead of asking the question, how come I'm not there? Ask the question, what took them to get there, and follow
research.
those steps.
Model them.
Yeah,
It's a
model
great,
that.
If
That's
you
it.
if you look at them like, okay, I like where they're at, Don't be like, oh fuck, I'm not where they're at.
Yes.
Like, how did they
That's
get
the
there?
most important takeaway
How did
for
they
today.
get there? What did they do? Okay,
Yes.
shoot, they took this course, they tried this. What is that? Then really Google that shit.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I'm gonna know every single thing about it. Just like, what do we see? Bill Gates. There was the toilet problem in third world
Yes,
countries.
yes.
This motherfucker read every
About
single
plumbing and-
thing about
yeah,
plumbing,
plumbing, yeah.
about the
Water
infrastructure.
flow, yeah.
Every
City.
single and he was already a
City,
billionaire.
yeah,
He didn't need
exactly.
to do that
No.
shit, but he was interested enough
Yeah.
for him to be like, okay, I'm compassionate. Like I think this is a noble cause that I should pursue.
Yes.
But when you do that, if you feel that it's a noble cause, you're gonna find out every single thing
Aspect about it. And
Find
it's
out what the community's like in it.
Yeah.
Who are the biggest players in it?
Yeah. What's stopping you?
What's
Yeah.
surrounding other
Right.
things that could be part of it? Any other like industries that have the technology that could
affect it,
help
yeah, yes.
that technology?
And he sourced it out so perfect.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many layers and such a big radius to certain things that there shouldn't you should feel excited and get to put your fucking boots on and get to work.
That's it. That's the biggest shift. The biggest shift in your brain is the questions you ask yourself and how you look at each thing that you say, hey, that's successful, or that's to my mind is successful and I want to get there. Ask yourself the question of not, why am I not there, but rather how did they get there and how can I model them?
And it's not about I want to get there. It's about I want to get there and stay there and get further.
Get better. 100%. 100%. If you guys got anything out of this today, please share it. Like us, and you can get at us at
hit us up on Instagram at StrengthenU, STRENGTH, the letter N, the letter U.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Cheers.
Cheers. Boom.